Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. Okay, what is happening? Aha. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. Check 1, 2. Hello, hello. Yes. How's it going? So I'm just messing around here with this drum beat and I'm thinking about it. Thinking about doing something with it. So what's going on? So today, what I want to do is I want to do like a summary of the videos so far. So I'm kind of keeping track, trying to get it organized, and I want to make it accessible for people to see what's on the channel. And so maybe once in a while I'll do something like this so you can see what videos are currently on this channel. And also, if you don't have time to watch the videos, at least you can get a sense of what's on the videos. Also, this is the music theory and application videos that I wanted to make. And so when I'm going forward, if I use terms like half steps and whole steps or sharps and flats, this is where it's coming from. You can watch these videos or you can look at this summary right now. So this is a quick summary really of what we talked about so far. So I opened up with a blank fretboard, okay, an empty fretboard, and you see they're all empty boxes really. And you get these notes, you're given these notes, and I'm going to give you a method to find the rest of the notes on the board. Okay, our goal is to find the 7 natural notes. Okay, and there are a total of 12 notes, but we're going to start with the natural notes on the fretboard, and that's our goal. It's like it's building a foundation to launch all the other ideas off of, and to be able to access the board and find your way around. So okay, so we move on. This is a representation of the 12 notes. Okay, and we talk about half steps and whole step intervals, okay, which are just these are the spaces between these notes. So between one fret distance is a half step. So each one of these boxes is a half step. If you put 2 together, half step plus half step equals whole step. Okay, so that's all. This is explaining that. This is from the videos, and we use this formula. We follow this formula because this outlines the neck. This shows where the natural notes will fall on the neck. So there are 2 half steps or 1 fret distance, and there are 5 whole step distances. Okay, and you can stop this video and look at it. These are the 12 notes, the way that we represent them. So you can go through each key and understand how they're put together. And these are the natural notes on the fretboard. This is the fretboard showing where all the notes are, okay, on the neck, what they look like. And you can see the whole step distance from F to G here is it's 2 frets. So from F, 1, 2, right? And from B to C, it's B is 1 fret and C is 1 fret. So it's 1 fret, it's a half step away, okay? And this is the major scale formula, the C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Okay, so we presented that. Now, the notes that we're dealing with are 7 natural notes. Okay, so there are 12 altogether. So there's 5 altered notes. That means that they're either sharp or flat. And this is what a sharp and flat is. This explains a sharp is a half step forward or 1 fret distance forward, and a flat is 1 half step backward. Okay, or a half step or 1 fret backward. Okay, so this is the major scale formula, and this shows basically that there's symmetry. Okay, there are 12 notes, and they've evolved from this equal temperament. Okay, that basically spaced evenly distributed each note, so you could access all 12. Because before that, you couldn't access all 12. Okay, so in the West, with the Western composers, with Mozart and Bach and so forth, and Beethoven, they basically promoted this type of composing with 12 notes. Okay, and that's most of the composers in Western history. So here are the 5 keys that use sharps and flats. Okay, and we keep going, and this is the same thing, explaining what a sharp and a flat is. This keeps going, and this again explains that, and saying that they're essentially the same note. So F sharp is G flat is F sharp. It's just a different way to express it. Okay, and that's essentially true. There's history to that, and we're not going to go into that right now. So I went through all the keys and showed what it looks like to go through them. So these are the flats, and these are the sharps. Okay, I explained that, and this is a clearer way to look at it, so it's all written out for you. The C scale has no sharps or flats. Okay, the C key or scale has no sharps or flats, so then it's 1 in G, 2 in D, and so forth and so on. So you end up with these 6, okay, and then 6 more that have the flats all written out. Okay, this is the most efficient way I found to write it. You can write, there's other ways to write these things, but this is the way I wrote it. Okay, these are the 12 keys again in this order, and I just made the point that the melodic scales, okay, are played one at a time. When they say melodic, they're talking about one note at a time. When they say harmonic, they're talking about playing more than one note at a time, and you get a chord. Okay, then we talked about how to make a chord and what is a chord. And so the way to build a chord is you want to take the first note, the third note, and the 5th note of the scale. So here would be C, E, and G would be a major triad. Okay, and that's how you build a chord. And then when you want to build a minor chord, you flatten the third, so the E would become flat. And if you want to build a diminished chord, the third would be flat and the 5 would be flat. The G would be flat as well. And I spell all that out. There it is, major, minor, diminished. Okay, and I wrote it here. It's hard to see, but it's there. And then what happens is this. What I did was I wanted to show where the harmonic chord progression comes from, and it's a result of inverting this major scale. So this major scale can be inverted. Okay, so what that means is that you start with C, right, and you use this whole step, half step, whole step, half step formula, and when you invert it, you're inverting this whole formula. So now it starts whole step, half step. So you see where it starts from the D, and it's all spelled out here. There's the D, there's what it looks like from E, there's what it looks like from F, and now what happens is you end up with 7 unique scale patterns or formulas that when you plug a note into it, you get a whole different quality of sound. Okay, and what happens is when you put them all together, you get a progression of chords that's harmonically, it works together harmonically. Okay, it's a way to find your way around 12 keys ultimately. Okay, because you can make inversions and transitions, and you can get around the entire 12-tone scale, either melodically or harmonically. Okay, and this is still spelling it out. And here it is, 7 unique scales: major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, and diminished. These inversions, these 7 inversions, are what the modes are. So the first mode is Ionian, second mode is Dorian, third Phrygian, fourth Lydian, fifth Mixolydian, sixth Aeolian, seven Locrian. And these are their major and minor designations. So you have three major scales or chords, right? And you also have three minor chords or scales, and you have one diminished scale and chord, right? Whether you're playing it harmonically or melodically. So I just keep writing it out that way. Here's major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished. And here you will see these Roman numerals, and so I included that. This is to simplify it, just to see the pattern inversions. And these are the triads again. And what I did was I added sevenths. That was the last video, is I added the sevenths, and I explained that the seventh in the minor is flattened, and also in the diminished is flattened. Otherwise, the major is just 1, 3, 5, 7. Okay, these are the formulas to get those chords, to get the major, minor, diminished, right? And then I continued to talk about it and explained, this is what it looks like. I figured this might be helpful. So C, E, G for the triad, C, E, G, B for the 7, major 7, minor 7, it's all spelled out. Okay, and then I did this lesson showing the chords in this particular order on the neck, and they're relatively close together, although this is a great stretching exercise. You don't have to play all 4 notes. You should try to play the 3 triads maybe at first and then work your way up to 4. But ultimately, it's really organized and spelled out. You have C, D, E, F, G, A, and B. B is here, right? And it's hard to see here, but you can just follow this. You know, it's just those 7 in this particular order, so I could get it all on one screenshot. So that's that. That's pretty much it. I just wanted to make it easy to see, and maybe it's helpful if you want to go watch those videos. At least you kind of know what's involved in them. Okay, and here's another screenshot showing why, how organized these notes are, and it's a great exercise just to play these chords, because you'll be taking care of a lot of things. You'll be learning the notes on the neck, the natural notes. This really sums up the whole goal here, is to learn all the notes on the neck, learn where they are, and learn how to put them together harmonically, like as chords, and you can also play them as scales. So then they're all very close together, no sharps, no flats, and then, the more you get into playing sharps and flats, the more you'll see there are patterns that will help you get around the neck. Okay, and that's pretty much it. This is just the same thing spelled out again, and that is it. Have a great day and night, and please subscribe or leave a comment or something, or just have a great day. Okay, thanks. So long.